Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Cenat is one of the biggest streamers in the world. He's known for his humor and energy. But recently, he took a break from streaming to address some mental health issues. Yeah, fam, he said he was having a problem with burnout and self-doubt and fear, right? Think about what I just said. Burnout, self-doubt, and fear. Something that most of us can relate to, if not all of us. Kai shared his feelings of being overwhelmed and losing touch of reality due to intense streaming and high goals, but expressed passion for creating and plans to share more personal content, encouraging others to prioritize their well-being as documented across social media platforms like Instagram, Threads, and X. I ain't got no problem with that, man. Yeah, I know Kai been getting a bad rep lately, especially after he attended, I believe it was some type of award show where he was criticized because he didn't know who Wale was, he didn't know who Deion Cole was, and some of these other people who have put in a lot of work in the entertainment industry. But I tell you this, fam, that information is welcomed. We have a serious, extremely serious mental health issue in America. We out here worried about the latest dance and arguing about who the best out of LeBron and Michael Jordan and all of this type of stuff. When this country is on the verge of a mental collapse, yeah, it's bad, fam. Everybody mad. Think about what I'm saying. Everywhere you look, people are mad. People are shooting, stabbing, beating, people fighting their grandmother. Man, I never even imagined living to even think of somebody fighting their grandmother. I've heard cases where people have shot their parents to death because of abuse or trying to get to the money and stuff like that. But even that is way out of control. Like the way people do their own parents, their own siblings, their own offspring, their grandmother. I saw a woman fighting her grandmother. Knock out, drag out, and grandma was holding up a little bit. The idea of anybody in my family fighting first of all, my grandmother would just shoot you. Let's get that straight. She had a .38 special, and she would put it in her pocket. She used to walk around in a house coat if she was at home. And if there was any trouble, she put that thing in her coat pocket and go check it out. I remember one time I had an uncle who, I don't even like calling him uncle, but it was my aunt's husband. One day my aunt's abusive husband showed up at my grandmother's door looking for her. My grandmother came up to the door and she had that .38 special. And she was like, yeah, she here. But the only way she coming out, if you come in here and get her. But if you come in here to get her, you gonna get these bullets too. Yeah, my grandmother didn't play, man. She didn't play. But on top of that, we didn't play about my grandmother. Yeah, so ain't no way possible nobody in my family would put their hands on my grandmother. Nobody even had that type of audacity. Pretty much if anybody would put their hands on my grandmother, they would have immediately, life would have pretty much been over. They may as well just lay down. Go ahead and lay down, man, because your ass is up out of here. Ain't nobody, we didn't play that, man. How do you even put your hands on your grandmother and be allowed to come back into the circle? to be around the family. The only way that could even remotely be possible is that the next time the family see you, all of this busted up, this is hanging out, you missing an eye, one of your legs is gone, something like that. You're in a wheelchair for life, something like that. Yeah, and you serve as an example of what not to do. You dig what I'm saying? But getting back, the mental health thing is a serious problem in America. It is said that 23.4% of adults, that's over 60 million people, suffer from mental health in the United States of America. And I thought the number might be higher because it just seems like everybody is angry. Everybody angry. Everybody mad. Treading on other people's rights to just exist. So for him to be at the top of his game and to speak on mental illness, that's the big plus, because we can say what we want to say about celebrities, but celebrities hold a lot of power. They have a lot of influence. And when they speak, people listen. Well, at the very least, they hear. They hear. When celebrities speak, people hear them. They have a huge voice. And a lot of people who follow them, I'm talking about especially the ones who are fanatics. The fanatics hear them all the way. And they can actually command them to do things. Say, hey, look, vote for this person. Hey, look, buy this, woo. Hey, come to this. Hey, this is the way I think. Hey, I believe in polygamy. I believe that you can have 25 children and 25 baby mamas. And you have somebody out there trying to duplicate that type of behavior. That's a lot of influence. And so too much is given, much is required. And Cenat, he's been given a lot. This dude turned down a multi-million-dollar deal with Nike. He turned down another deal, I think they said with Netflix or somebody. It was one of those big conglomerates. He turned out a deal like $100 million or something. He turned it down to do his own thing. So when it comes to business, he ain't no dummy. He built his own platform all by himself. Well, I won't say all by himself. I don't know who's working behind the scenes, but it was his vision and his work ethic that people bought into. So the dude ain't no dummy, but I got to give him all the credit in the world because I love it when celebrities take a stand. I love it when celebrities are talking about something other than their cars and their homes and who they're dating and their jewelry and how much money they got, all of that stuff that ain't gonna matter if they were on their deathbed. Because I've been to quite a few hospices. I've been to a number of hospitals and stood in that room when people took their last breath. And I don't remember anybody asking about their car or their house or their jewelry or how much money they have in the bank and all of this type of stuff. Now, I've been around somebody who said, run those credit cards up. Yeah. Beautiful woman. She was a really, really good woman. She was really, really good, real good woman. She told her granddaughter, baby, use those credit cards up. Use the credit cards. And her daughter started, granddaughter started crying like, Grandma, I don't want to. She said, stop all that damn crying. I can't use them. Use them up. She was telling her granddaughter to charge those cards up. Yeah, that's how I'm going to be. When it's time for me to go and I ain't got no more, I'm going to tell my kids to run it up. Run it up. Now, obviously, for certain things, they got to be a little bit more responsible, but certain things, man, run it. I can't do nothing with it, and they can't collect. Yeah. But back to Kai. Kai, I ain't got no problem with that, man. I ain't got no problem with that, especially for him to be young and speaking out like that. A lot of youngsters, they try to behave as if they're invincible. You know, they try to act like they got it all together all the time. And that can be overwhelming. Kai got a lot on his plate right now. I mean, that boy worth some major bucks. And so, if you ain't got your mind right, yeah, you got all that money, but if your mind ain't right, money don't get your mind right. I don't know what some people be thinking about, but all you gotta do is get to the money and you'll see what I'm talking about. Money alone don't get your mind right. There's things that are a lot more important than money and stuff. You know what I think is the most important thing in life? Relationships. Yeah, I think relationships are the most important thing, because while I've had moments where I've been down about not having enough money, that kind of don't last too long, you know. But when I'm down about a relationship that has soured, you know, that lasts a lot longer. You know, am I making sense? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.